to CHMR 93.5, your only alternative.
And we are back.
The only alternative.
This is 93.5 CHMR FM. You're listening to The Aperture, a weekly hour-long discussion of all topics geek culture. I'm one of your hosts, Rory DC.
Sorry, I'm the other Adam the Porge Knight. That thing. Yeah. I fight Porge. I'm a knight. What do you want from me? By that I mean I eat Porge.
So this was a good one. Adam came up with this show, and it was a great idea. It was to talk about the Resistance series. One of, if not my favorite series, franchises of video games.
Okay.
And so we're gonna do. We did Resistance. Talked about Resistance 1 and 2 before the break.
Yeah.
And so now we're going to move on to 3, which, Adam, is your favorite. And so do you want to sort of kickstart describing the storyline of Resistance 3?
Yeah, so Resistance 1 and 2 follow Nathan Hale, is that his name?
That's right, yeah.
He's kind of this, kind of bland, to be fair, he's kind of bland, this very bland super soldier. Mm-hmm. He's just a super soldier. Not much character there, but he's not really the focus. Resistance 3 is following this guy called Joseph Capelli. Mm-hmm. Now, Joseph Capelli is a much more likable protagonist. He has more personality. His whole the whole plot of Resistance 3 is you're in somewhere in the middle of America, Massachusetts, somewhere crappy, and you're hiding out from the Chimera, who have at this point essentially won. There's very little humans left. Where in Resistance 1 the military was still going strong, in Resistance 2 you were still putting up a fight. In Resistance 3 you've basically had the snot beaten out of you. Humanity is basically done. So you're hiding out. You're with a bunch of Resistance. Joseph Capelli has a wife and a son. A very young son. Anyway, one of the main characters from the first 2 games comes and tells Joseph that there's a way to defeat the Chimera, but they have to go all the way to New York and shut down some sort of big tower thing that does something with the space-time continuum. I don't know.
Yeah.
And they have to do something at the tower. So this is really a kind of it's like a cross-country America journey between him trying to get to New York and him trying to do all this. But he has a reason to do it because he's doing it for his family. He has this thing where every now and again in the cutscenes he'll take out a mitten, and it's his son's mitten, and he just looks at his mitten, and you can tell that he's remembering that he's doing this for his family. He's just a much more likable protagonist, and the story is a lot more likable because you really have to scrounge for ammunition. I found I was always looking for more ammo.
Yeah,
and you go to some interesting places, you meet up with some interesting people, more like freedom fighters and resistance fighters. It really did feel like this was a resistance, whereas in the other games you were had the backing of a still fully powered army.
Yeah, it's very
guerrilla style.
Raw guerrilla style.
Yeah.
It's very cool, and they don't focus too much on the science fiction aspects of it.
No,
it's sort of like Fallout 3 and Book of Eli meets Star Trek Voyager or something. It's very sort of complex, but all the science stuff is in the background. It really makes you care about the characters a little more, which is awesome. Oh, by the way, it starts out in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. The awesome cover for this game, I want to say. First point out.
There we go.
I love minimalist covers, and that's one of the best I've ever seen. I'm surprised they went with that, because usually they go with something generic, with a guy with a gun is slowly walking towards the front of the game, and
every other game,
every other shooter game ever, including, I'm sad to say, some of the Halo games.
Yeah.
But this has an awesome cover. Loved it to death.
Borderlands also has good cover, even though it's not minimalist. It has really cool personality.
And Halo
cover.
4 I thought had a good cover. But anyway, I love Halo. So you're traveling to New York, and you go, and at one point you end up in some city, probably Boston.
Yeah,
I don't know, or Detroit, and you run into these guys, and you spend an hour there, and you have to repair a chopper to try and get out of the city. And so I felt like where in other games they were just a chopper would show up. In this game you have to repair the chopper, and I felt that was pretty cool. And then you end up in a very kind of Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome style area where you're in a prison, and there's a big fight club in the prison that you have to try and sneak out of. Now, I don't know how the game ends.
Yeah, neither do I.
And here's the reason. Me and Rory were playing it through on his PlayStation 3. And then he went and got a new one. He got a new PlayStation 3. And because they have internal hard drives that you can't transfer data over to.
Well, you can, but I didn't.
Yeah, he didn't for some reason.
I deserve the blame
all of his Resistance 3 data is on his old PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
And it's now full. We can't play any more games on that because there's literally no more room on the hard drive. So we're completely. So we would have to play the whole game over again.
We did start it. Yeah. I don't know where we are.
We got pretty far. We got up to the point where we're in the tunnels in that weird kind of like cult town.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
We're gonna have to finish that game one of these days.
We have to, but up to we got pretty clear. I think we got pretty near to the end.
Yeah.
Really, like it was not nearly as cinematic as the first one, as the second one.
Yeah.
And I felt that it did a lot more stuff to like it got away from the kind of Call of Duty formula that a lot of games followed. It didn't have regenerating health. It didn't have
which is good because that was the thing that was cool about the first one.
Yeah.
Was health packs.
Yeah. I will say that Halo 2 was the first one to do regenerating health, and I'm okay with it in Halo just because. But in a lot of other games, I'm kind of like,
it's great online.
Yeah,
I'm not crazy about it in other play. It would sort of depending upon the situation.
Yeah.
Depending upon the type of game it is.
Like I like it in Halo because Halo is supposed to be fast-paced and frenetic.
Exactly.
But in Call of Duty, not so much because it's more plotting, tactical kind of stuff. But anyway, gameplay was stellar except for the ladder climbing. Everything was really smooth and organic, and there was upgrades to the weapons. Each weapon, like if you, the more you used a weapon, the more it would upgrade. So, for example, the bullseye, which is your main weapon in the game, that would like if you upgraded that to level 2, it would get like a cool like almost like a red dot scope. Except it was yellow, but it was cool and stuff like that. So really,
the weapon upgrades were a great addition.
Yeah, and you could carry like every weapon in the game on you. Well, you weren't just limited to 2 weapons like with other games.
That was the biggest problem I found with Resistance 2.
That.
Was Resistance 1 you could carry every weapon, and then in 2 they said you can only carry 2.
Yeah,
and that drove me nuts. The weapon wheel was amazing, though.
Yeah, and I like that because you're very oftentimes running out of ammunition. So, like for example, I often in that game I use the bullseye and the marksman.
Yeah.
And which are just 2, like one's an assault rifle, one's a battle rifle.
Yeah.
And 2 great guns, but then I'd always run out of ammo, so I'd be stuck at like the end of the level fighting the boss and I'd have like a weapon, like a shotgun that I wasn't very good with and I hadn't upgraded. So I was trying to defeat the enemy with a not very good weapon. I'm like, man, I wish I had some bullseye ammo, and I look over like, there's a bullseye over there, and I run over. It was like the best feeling in the world. It was so awesome. Ben or Yahtzee from Zero Punctuation loves this game. He really liked it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said it was like one of the best. Because this game came out back in 2012 or 2011, I think it was.
It was
2011.
2011. Yeah, because it was September 2011. Because I remember going out, walking to the mall, and getting it.
Okay. And it came out in the same year as a lot of big shooters came out. Modern Warfare 3 and Battlefield 3 came out the same year. And he said, in comparison to those games, and even Serious Sam 3, this game was really, really good.
Yeah, it was a super good game. I was very impressed. Could I say a couple things about the online?
Sure.
All right.
Never played the online.
First thing about the online is awesome.
Okay. Awesome.
The online is stellar.
It's not just awesome. It's awesome. And then you hear a little guitar from the background going.
And I was blown away at how cool it was. Again, it's not so focused on having huge teams, but what it does have is big maps. I like big maps.
Big maps are awesome.
I know some people don't. I know Woody's gamer tag on YouTube. I don't mean to call him out because we're also on YouTube, and it's not really calling him out because we have 4 subscribers and he has over 1 million.
Yeah.
But
and he's very good. You should check him out.
He is very good, and I love
video a day. Is it?
Every video a day. Yeah, and he's good. I love his content. He's a nice guy. But one thing I really disagree with him on is. And maybe this is only for Call of Duty, because I feel like he maybe hasn't played a lot of Resistance in Halo, but he likes the small maps and the constant action. I disagree. I like the big maps that allow me to play. I can play the big action if I want to and get in the high traffic areas, or I can play the silent game.
Yeah.
Which is the game I like to play, especially in Team Deathmatch, because in Team Deathmatch, if you're not dying, the enemy's not getting any points off you.
Yeah.
So I like to play quiet and play ghost-like with maybe a sniper or a battle rifle, something like that.
Yeah.
And I like big maps, give you the opportunity to play how you want to play. And they have big maps, and this is just, it's just cool. I played the beta for it. And that was amazing. It was, one of the coolest betas ever. impressive when you have a beta that's less buggy than final releases of Call of Duty.
I remember you should. I remember you really don't like Black Ops 2, do you?
No, I don't.
Are you gonna get Call of Duty Ghosts?
Nope. Nope. Not likely.
I'm gonna rent it because I've beaten every single Call of Duty game, the single player, and because it takes 6 hours. It's pathetic playtime. But I will definitely be renting Call of Duty Ghosts just to play because I honestly think